Hey everyone, Ed, Slow Car Fix. I'm not sure how this video is going to go, but I'm working on my 55 Chevy, and I'm working on the four-door to two-door conversion. A lot of trial and error, a lot of screwing stuff up. So have a look and see what I'm up to. Okay, you can see I got that rocker section cut out. It had an old rocker, like a one from a 56 or 57, scabbed over top of this, and you can see this, the 55 one has this radius profile that I got on my one that I made. But that one was just kind of like a flat one that went over top. But the good thing is, it's not solid, but it's because the inside's all gone. But I can join maybe down here and splice mine in, and it'll be more of a smooth transition. Mine just lips over and kind of stops right here, and then I'll have to make this top piece later for mine. So I'm not really sure where I'm going with this, but I'm working towards filling this hole. I gotta cut this out, and the difference between doing it this way with this aftermarket panel versus some of the guys move the post back and all that stuff. I guess the difference is that I'm less concerned about where the door lands, where, now, neither way is right or wrong, but most guys do, and actually what I did on the other side, is you put the door post in, get the door lined up where you want to go, close the door, where the post lands is where it lands. I don't have anything to land it on, that's the first problem. And the second thing is, like, I don't like the way this door fits really. Like, it's a little tight right here. I gotta do some more tweaking and probably some work on the door itself. These aren't the fenders I'm gonna use, so this door is kind of just roughly on there. But because I have this shape with this window piece here, which actually fits pretty good into this, I can get my reference from the back forward with using that piece and using that door jamb. So it should, because what I did on the other side, and I'm not doing it entirely the same as I did on the other side, but what I did on the other side was I set this right over top, trimmed it out, so trimmed all the rest of the crap off there, so that way this would fit right over top in the exact spot, and then I cut it right where these spots are, and then welded it in. So that gave me the right shape of where the window is supposed to be. I'm gonna do something similar on this side. It's just a lot of trial and error. See, that's a lot of screwing around. I've got this quarter panel piece on, sort of where I think it needs to be. It's level with the existing rocker, which I was fortunate to find underneath the scabbed on rocker. I've got this piece happening here. I did think that I could use the shape of this panel to go and figure out where my door jamb was going to be. That was kind of a bad idea. The best thing to do was to line up the door as other people have done before, and do that. So I'm going to got kind of the gaps where I want it to be. Everything's sort of in line. The door is kind of cocked in a little bit, but it's not too bad. It is tight in that top corner, which I understand they all are, but I don't want that, so I'm going to have to play with the door later. This is another door. I've got a few doors. How many doors does it take to convert a 4-door to a 2-door? I think about 10, including the 4 that are on it. So this would be way easier if I had a whole quarter panel, but that's not the kind of project this is, unfortunately. So I am gonna do some old Fitzy cut and butt and try and make this work. So I'm pretty sure this video is going to be a mess because I've just been working and not really thinking about planning out the video while I'm working, which is not what you're supposed to do when you're making videos. You're supposed to be sort of making the video as you go and planning on how you're going to edit it as you're recording it. I'm not doing that today, so you're getting what you're getting. So on the 55 here, I've changed my plan like 14 times on this side. That is a different door. I don't know how many doors I put on this thing. So the gap here is a little looser than I'd like, but it's also a little tighter up here. So what I'm going to do, I've seen a lot of guys do, is the hinges, they'll file out or oblong the holes in the hinge to move the door this way, because I don't need much, but just a little bit, because it's just a little wider than, I don't want to get my finger in there. I did start installing this panel here because down here is all chewed up, and you also need this radius piece here, this little curve. You kind of need that, and that ties into the rocker that goes across the bottom. So I started installing that the way I did it on the other side. But the other side, the reason I did it was because this was all mangled on the other side. I had a lot of filler and a big giant mess, and it's got a really big mess up here. But this side wasn't bad, so I started to cut and weld it in, and then I realized I'm an idiot, and it was changing the shape of the quarter panel, which is what I fought with, the quarter panel, which is what I fought with on the other side. It kind of buckles in a little bit. So what I did was what everyone else does, and I skinned the door. Yes, I screwed the glass. No, I don't care. So I skinned the door, took the door skin. It was pretty rough. You can see there's some holes in it and stuff there. That's a nice piece to save for the radius. I saved the top piece with the little buckle on it, in case I need that sometimes or something. So anyways, that gives me the nice curve for the body panel. And then it also kind of gets me, like, this is a nice heavy piece, this edge to weld to. I can clean this up and just sort of tack that in. Most people have trouble because they have to fill in the door handles, but because I'm using this other piece, I don't have to do that. I'm just going to cut it and butt it somewhere along there and down here. But I still have some tough spots down here, but I also still need that radius. So I'm going to use some of that panel some of the door, this piece here, which gives me my jamb and gives me my piece around the windowsill. And then I just have to, you know, blend this in here, fix this guy up here, lots of little things. I think this way with the door skin, I don't know why I was resisting doing it. Everyone does that. I made a piece on the other side, and I got the radius close. But the problem was that I had with the other side is this was really bad in this area, which has nothing to do with what I was working on, but it was all hammered and banged in and chewed up and everything. So it's really bad now. So I'm going to have to correct that once I'm done this side. So I'm trying to nail down my process on this side. And then I'll have to go back and fix or redo the other side. So that's kind of where I'm at here. I got to take this panel back out, clean it all up, prep it, you know, get it ready to tack into place. And then I'll maintain this curve, because people don't realize is that these panels are actually kind of pregnant. They radius out a little bit. And if you start putting in a whole bunch of patches like I did on the other side, you lose this curve. And then you're into building it back up with filler and stuff. And you can see the door has the nice curve, and that aftermarket panel has the nice curve. And then once I have this, you know, joined to it and everything, I'll have that curve and it'll maintain, but it kind of fades back into the body. It's a really interesting shape that you don't want to have to make it a filler, because that's not cool. So I'm going to try and do as much as I can with the metal. I think this way is going to work out. You can see this is, I don't know if it shows on camera, but this is all starting to bubble here. So there's some action happening underneath that paint. So, but this whole car's coming down to metal, so it doesn't really matter. Up here seems to be going okay. I just have that tacked in case I need to take it back out or anything, but I think it'll be okay. I'll weld this all along in here, grind that flush, and then, you know, eventually, oh, there goes my camera. Eventually, I will seam seal all this before it gets painted, right? It's like a paintable seam sealer. Another thing people are going to comment on, yes, when I did when I cut the pillars out, I was grinding way too close to this glass and probably ruined the back glass and ruined the front glass, but I had planned on replacing the glass anyways. The problem is that, and I didn't think about it, was that I screwed it for somebody else. Somebody else might have liked to have that glass. So, but it's too late now. Yeah, lots of work, lots to come, lots more to do. We'll get at it. Okay, so I see this looks like a bit of a dog's breakfast, and you know what, it kind of is. That's the project though. So it's not too bad. Everything's pretty smooth. It doesn't really wave that much. It's pretty straight. It's a little low in the corner, the top corner, but I can hammer and dolly that out a little bit before I final weld it. Usually what I do is I'll tack and compressed air and tack and compressed air just to keep it cool. But this turned out a lot straighter and a lot better than the passenger side, or sorry, than the driver's side. I think this side's going to be good, and I think using this door skin is key. This panel piece, I wouldn't buy that again. There's a lesson learned there. I wouldn't buy that again. It was not the right shape. The only thing that's really good about it is that you get the door jamb and you get the piece that goes over top of the window. And you know, you get this, but like the whole panel, this was all so tight in here. So I kept with the profile of the door and hammered this down and kind of shaped it to fit the profile of the door. So I don't know if I'd buy those pieces again unless you were just literally just looking for, you know, what I've used here. This top piece, the door frame, the door post, and here. So that's how you can get away without having a donor two-door car. But really, if you had a set of doors from another car, you could do this whole thing, and lots of people on YouTube and stuff have, without using any aftermarket pieces. I thought this would be a better way to go, and I'm not so sure that it is. So I guess we'll see when it's done, or when the metal work is done, which is a million years from now. I'll let you know if I think that I would buy those again, but so far, I don't like them. I don't think I would buy them again. Same thing with these panels. This panel here, I think I mentioned it before, there's no crown in this panel. There's no radius in it. It's just kind of all over the place. It's not, this was one I got from Rock Auto or something. But it's going to give me what I need, because what I need is this little curvature that's down here, this curved profile to match the rocker. And then I've got that rocker that I made. So very much not a good car. It's going to be, but it's certainly not right now. So thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my progress. There's going to be a lot more progress on this and on my 57 truck this winter. And I'm not sure how far I'll get with this, and I'll have to move on to the truck, because the truck is my goal for the winter. This is just sort of in between while I'm waiting for some parts. Stick with me. It'll get done. Thanks for watching.